Hey people, it's Arturo here. Good evening to everyone. Uh, it's a Monday night, and I'm here right now for my oral communication in context project. So we are supposed to observe a classroom in headset and apply all the things that we learned about communication and put it into role. So to get started, I observed the grade 8 Mandela classroom, which is by the teacher's lounge. It's made out of, it's the Bahay Kubo. So a Bahay Kubo is a traditional Filipino house made out of bamboo and nipa leaves. So when I was there, they were having their physics class, and I'm not sure what the teacher's name was, but anyway, he was wearing glasses. He's the teacher of He is the club moderator of the Magic Club. So yeah, to get so to get started, let's talk about the primary observations. The class was relatively quiet, and they weren't really doing a lot of things. Just normal lecture, answer, like that. And mostly there were two girls chatting and giggling while the boys either sleeping or a bit laughing. So let's discuss the elements of communication. So the first one, the speaker would be the teacher, the source of information. The second one would be the message. So the teacher would think of an idea and transmit it out, that being the message. Encoding, so that's when he puts it into words or actions. And the channel, which is the medium or the means. So the channel was the air, obviously. And decoding is when the receiver interprets the message given to them. The feedback is the response, the reply to the to the sender, sorry. And then we have context, which was the classroom, so the place of communication, and barrier, obviously the last one, because I'll discuss some barriers that were in the classroom. So the first one was the electric fans. They had 4 ceiling fans that were quite noisy, and it was quite hard to hear properly. The second barrier would be the construction at the EED, early development early school. I'm sorry, the preschool area, since they're building a new computer lab. So the noise that came from the hammers, the clings, and whatever construction, that was the second barrier. So the next one would be, let's review first the review of process of communication. So the speaker generates first an idea, then the speaker encodes, then the speaker transmits the message, and then the receiver gets the message, and the receiver decodes and interprets, then the receiver provides feedback. Now, functions, I guess the class really showed a lot of control. Well, the teacher, since it's to control behavior, some social interaction since everybody chats. Now, let's now the features of an effective communication. As always, it had to be clear and concise. Now, there were a few problems, like the teacher had some S sounds, and I guess the students found it a bit funny, so they giggled a bit. And then low recitation, so that could mean they weren't getting it. It wasn't clear to them. But there are some good points, like the teacher used movements to further explain the lesson. So that's good. And the students, I guess, tried to listen a lot. Now, the next thing I would be discussing about the grade 8 would be now the kind of model, communication model that I think the class portrays. So I think it would be the Shannon Weaver model. Since this model does not have feedback, like the classroom where the feedback is quite low, I guess I could use that one for this classroom. Now, some recommendations before I end. I would recommend that they use their voices louder since the barriers are quite disturbing and it may affect the communication process. I also encourage the teacher to make more activities so that the children could, be more active and not feel sleepy and not do anything, I guess. So, I guess that's all. Thank you for listening, guys. Good night.